suggestion. If they do not have a Pharah or a Lucio, let's go all the way around back. Because both of these DPS are going to want room to work, but I don't have verticality on Reinhardt. So let's just go all the way around back, as long as they don't have Lucio or Pharah.
Alright.
So your first suggestion there is to go around on the bottom, because you don't have verticality. And I've watched a bit of this video, both attack rounds. It seems to go on for a while longer, obviously because of overtime. But one thing I noticed is you feel like you seem very concerned about being the bodyguard for these people because you have a big shield. Makes sense. But I don't know. It's a little. I find when I play Rein, you want to be more like on the front, aggressive, hitting the targets. You're getting hit too, but you're like distracting those targets so that Soldier and Pharah can shoot away as they're all looking at you. And it's just, I don't know, it's more easy for a DPS to shoot that way instead of them all looking at you and you all looking at them, because you kind of gotta split their focuses. Maybe I can show what I mean later, but especially with Pharah, I mean, she's not going to use you at all. She might go around on that left outside where you are going to go, but she doesn't need anyone on her team other than maybe a Mercy with her to do that. You're just drawing more attention to her, and she's going to be a very obvious target when that happens. But it's not necessarily like it's not the worst idea.
That's a good sign. Get up high.
We got Genji behind you, Heaven.
Alright, we're gonna win.
Sorry, no slip there. Where are
Top,
we?
get up high, Moira, get up high.
We got Genji behind you, Heaven.
So here, you decide to jump down and attack this Rein. And frankly, I would focus more on the, whatever, 3 or 4 still surviving people up on the high ground. Especially if you look at his health bar, he's got maybe 100 left, maybe a little more. So you don't need to jump down and waste your time walking all the way around when probably your Moira and Diva can still take him, because I mean it's 2 healers and looks like a baby Diva maybe blowing up, but that's still enough to beat a Rein who just used his charge. And you end up killing him anyways with the Fire Strike.
Alright,
Same with that Genji.
we're gonna win this one.
I would not bother
Mercy,
chasing this. Moira's
Alright,
very good
let's
at
go take a point.
auto-aiming on him.
Zarya.
I'll meet you guys there.
Zarya, we gotta kill this Zarya.
And here's one thing. I don't know if you know what shield hopping is, but basically you'll jump, put up your shield, and carry your momentum from the jump. You won't like slow down like you do when you're normally just walking with a shield. So while you're midair, you have your shield up the entire time. You drop your shield when you land, jump again with your full momentum and shield. So that way you're going pretty much just as fast as, or you are going just as fast as you would if you were walking up. And you're blocking like 70-80% of the time. And here, you just walk up. And if you're going to be just walking up, you should use your Fire Strike. It's it's 6 seconds. You can be pretty liberal with it, and it's the easiest way to get an ultimate charge. Looking back at that Reinhardt charge you did, because I didn't even think about it. You could have
Lucio or Pharah.
Fire
Watch
strike
out
here
for,
as
watch
well.
out for Rein charges, but other than that, we're good. Let's go around back.
But you might have
Get
done it.
high,
I
Moira,
just
get
want to make
high.
sure. Yeah, you do right there. So anyways, just Fire Strike there, you would have been fine.
There's
Here you need to push up to that corner, like right in here, where your Soldier and Diva are going to be shooting. You can just be standing there. And instead you're back here, not protecting as much as you could. charge is fine
Rein, kill the Rein, kill the Rein. There you go. There you go. Nice, nice.
to me.
And they're gonna get back.
On a mid.
And again, be doing that shield jumping here. You'd be closing in space on this guy.
Behind us.
Alright, we can stay on payload, tanks are pushing forward.
And that's
Damn it, your dog has the zoomies.
kind of a waste. You would have killed him anyways.
Here she comes.
You could have just fire striked him. He was below half. But it's whatever.
Right, they're triple bad. They are triple bad.
Yep.
I would, like, you turn around and just kind of look at them. I would have just waited by this car. I know you aren't full health, but presumably your healers will catch up to you. And you could just be kind of contesting and keeping them scared, because I don't think they have healers. You just killed their Mercy. Their Ana might be there, but still, it's not a huge concern.
Tried to catch that, my fault.
That's okay, that's okay.
I don't know why you didn't have your shield up there, but it's okay. We miss things like that.
Who's
Again,
behind?
be
Who's
shield
behind?
jumping, pressure, like, you know what I mean? Like, hop forward, hold. And then you'll have, like, a, you know, it's a nice straight line. You kind of gotta think of where straight lines that enemies are always funneled, because that's where you'll get, like, a lot of value out of your fire strike. Just looking at your keys, strange to me. But, yeah.
Yeah, just take her out, take her out. You guys got her. I'll fly up ahead.
Again, like, you're protecting, I don't know how to think of, like, the angle you're shielding is where you're protecting fire from. So, like, you'd be standing here if all the enemy was, like, here and here, but you know they're over here. You should be rotated, like, 80 degrees left and actually viewing the enemy. And frankly, none of your team's even here, so you don't even need the shield, because this is the shield. And your shield would probably have another at least 500 HP, maybe even full, right?
How we doing?
Instead you've blocked, I don't know, over 1,000 damage, not at all defending your team, and now your shield's low that you have to drop it.
Dropping shield, dropping shield. Oh wait, well, I'll shield this.
I mean, it's fine, but
Nice job, guys.
it wouldn't be in most situations. Again, I think you're doing it, but
Shield-
push up here, hold that corner so people, like, any wall you want to use as like an extension of your shield. Like, you're pretty much on the corner of the wall, and then the left side of your shield is poking out, so that Soldier and Moira can safely damage while you're just there. And then you can, it also increases your view so you can still see them all. You can fire strike when you see whatever 3 people there. Go back to being a shield.
Shield still down right now. Shield still
Instead
down.
you're just kind of
Okay, shield back
here.
up.
And now they're not here, so you want to claim this space, move up to this corner, and same thing, just the right side of your shield is obviously poking out.
Oh wow. Interesting. Be ready for Dragon Blade. Genji probably has Blade by now.
And again, good time to fire strike. You might only hit 1 or 2,
Moira,
but
I'm dropping shield.
it's
Moira, I'm
7%
dropping shield.
charge on your ultimate.
Wow, their Mercy Blue Falcon.
I don't know what,
Possible time.
there's no point to be here.
I've had mine for forever and still
Alright, I'm throwing buddy bomb directly behind them.
Go ahead.
I can't hear you.
Once you get a purple, you might not have noticed, but, you know, Mercy can't heal you and she's trying. So, just back away. Like, go behind the payload and sit there.
Interesting. Okay,
But
okay, we're
when I was watching this, I'm like, I don't know where your team went, because, like, the Diva was over here, but I feel like all your team was there, so.
Yes.
There we go.
Nice.
Got 5.
Present.
Okay, yeah, team kill. That's it.
Nice.
Good job, everybody. I would say with the hey Blanche, let's actually play from the other side, because we have the Pharah and the Soldier. So yeah, let's play from up here. Not the whole group. I'm giving Soldier the signal. So Pharah, you go wherever you feel like you need to. I'm gonna help Soldier. I'm gonna help Soldier have range to work from.
Again, like I said this on the first attack round, I feel like you're too thinking of yourself as a bodyguard when you should think of yourself more as a distraction, right? So you're here with a soldier. This is where soldier wants to be, but you should be up here, where you can actually hit someone. And you'll be here with Moira and Diva, and these three can be over here safely shooting, while you're there being a presence in the front that's distracting them. Because like, I don't know. You got to think it's gonna be no. If they're all here and you're all here, and they have a Rein, I don't remember if they do. They do, I think. They're all gonna be behind his shield, and they're all gonna be behind your shield. But I don't know if they've got like a flag. They've got more cover. They can just go back here. They can retreat, which they can always do. Where you have, I don't know. I just wouldn't trust it, because they're gonna be wanting to poke over here, get a better angle. Where if you're over here, like around this corner, you'll be here with your Diva and Moira, enough of a threat that they don't want to just rush in and destroy you, sort of thing. You can fire strike, hit all of them lined up in this path. So Rein is blocking you and Diva and Moira, the more immediate threat, while soldier's over here from a side view that Reinhardt either can't block or can't block the three of you. So you're splitting his attention, splitting his effectiveness, right?
Mercy, let's put you up there with Farah and Diva.
That's
and I'll work
assuming they did go up here. I'm pretty sure they go main, but and again, someone should have said they're going main. If that does happen, you should jump down and hold this corner. IMO. But I think staying up here is also fine. You do it for too long, but it's not bad. Just
Okay. Don't go in yet. Don't go in yet. Don't go in yet. Don't go in yet. Let's win.
and once you see that Diva go in, you should definitely go in, because now she's just 6-on-1. Whereas you could, like, you know, she's distracted. You could jump in and charge over here, probably hit one because they're all clumped.
Fight. Win the team fight.
I already did.
Like, don't worry about this Diva. Worry about the 5 people that your Diva is getting destroyed by.
Diva out of mech. Keep shooting, soldier. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Stay up here. Stay up here.
Not much you can do there. I mean, you should have jumped down like you did. You missed the charge, which is unlucky because of that Farah. All you can do is swing maniacally.
Alright, drop back. Drop back. Drop back.
And you should just be rushing to get back to where you want to be, like charge, because they're going to be pushing up as well. I know you waste a lot of time trying to group up, and it is good to group up, but just group up where you want to be. Like, this is not a place to hold, right? You want to be at least on that white Jeep and holding that white Jeep, so like they'll all kind of set up on this behind you, knowing that you'll be there.
So be careful. Soldier, fall back farther. Soldier, fall back more. Fall back more.
I mean, I'm almost there. You guys can start going.
No, not yet. Not until we have all 6. Okay, let's hold.
Because like you see, this ends up being way too passive of you, because you could have been here. This Rein would not have gone for this corner. Diva might eat this fire strike, but he's doing what I was saying, you know, get that long angle, and he's going to hit all 4 of you, probably. Diva eats it, but, you know, that's just the right position to be. Again, go for, like,
Ryan?
oh, shit.
Fall back more.
I mean, I'm almost there. You guys
With
can
that
start
fire
going.
strike again, try to get like a long angle. You kind of
Okay, let's hold this corner.
maximum could only get 1 out of that, right? Like here, you fire here, but if you'd gone like another step, you could have like fired here. They've got a Diva though, so it's
Ryan will probably have shatter.
Harder
Ryan
to
will probably
predict.
have shatter.
again, hold this corner, just swing back away when you need health. But you're just giving them this corner.
I got it.
And now they have this whole place to retreat back to.
They are double
Sorry, I
hit
jumped
scan.
up after the Diva. But I did do it.
you need, I don't know, you might have shattered while you were doing it, but you kind of just let them walk into you without swinging. And you have a Moira and a Mercy, which is a lot of healing. So you should be a little more confident that you can stay up when swinging. But wasn't terrible.
There's the hammer.
Run away!
Far, are you gonna switch? Far, you're switching, right?
I'm gonna ult and then I'll swap.
Okay.
I could have used attacks on it. Came through that angle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't see
Just so you
Far,
know.
fall back. Far, fall back. They got two that can fuck
Yeah,
you.
come back, come back.
All right.
I should have been calling for.
Okay, let's hold this. Let's hold this last.
Again, you're like, I don't know, you're constantly waiting for your team to group up, which is not the wrong idea, but you need to like establish the point where you're going to group up, because no one wants to group up in that tiny little room you were just in. They want to be out in the action, and it's never going to stay in silver, right? You have to be here, and then they'll realize that you're there.
Last corner. Okay, Far. Do ult quick. Ult quick. Ult quick.
This is not the right idea. If you have if you have Shatter and the Rein charges you and misses you and goes just flying into death, you don't shatter him, you shatter the entire team he just left behind. Because this guy's gonna die regardless. And then there's these 4 people who are still gonna be shooting around. Like that McCree would not be doing all that. Devo would not have gotten her bomb off. I don't know if you know, but this does not block Shatter, the payload. You'll shatter everyone standing behind it. And frankly, I love using it because I feel like people don't really think that they'll get shattered. But anyways, don't shatter the guy that charged past you. Shatter the team he abandoned always.
Finish these guys. Finish these guys. We won the team fight. Finish them. Finish them.
And if there's not even people to shatter on that other side, then you don't need help to kill the Rein. You'll just, your team will be able to take care of that.
Normally I would have waited, but
Yeah, not this
Again, this was one of the more frustrating things positionally. Hold this corner, please. Instead you stay back here. I think you're worried about the high noon McCree flank, but that's more like you just have to turn your shield to deal with that. Your team will be the one that actually does the damage to, like, I mean, fire strike him or whatever, but your team will be the one that like does the damage to actually hurt him.
all right. What else do they have? There's one.
See,
Fall
like,
back, Andy. Fall back, Andy.
you know, this would have helped the Junkrat and Soldier be doing the damage there more confidently without Moira having to use all their healing. But you'd also just be in a better position to be blocking this
Stay
ultimate.
behind shield. Stay behind shield. Stay behind.
He doesn't get anything out of it, but like, I don't know if you saw that Rein is kind of more the aggression you want, where he swings and swings, he's getting a bit damaged, so then he shields. Where you kind of like shield full health into them, you're down to like 800 on your shield, and then you start swinging, and you're just in a way worse position.
Probably have Deadeye. They probably have Deadeye. They might have Graviton as well.
Again, this is fire strike range.
Ran the soldier off upstairs.
Keep your shield up if you're just standing, right?
There was a McCree behind.
Kind of an impossible situation to deal with there for you at that point.
All right, stall comp, stall comp. Everybody switch to fast heroes, fast heroes, fast heroes.
The Zenyatta switch makes me kind of laugh because how is that better than Moira for
Stand on it.
what he?
Rein in the back, Rein in the back, Rein in the back, Rein in the back.
When
Rein
you're
in the back.
stalling, like, you know, shield for the Diva bomb, but it's pretty much better, I feel, to just be swinging. You kind of just sit there with a shield, but
Down.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's the for sure way to do it.
Baby Diva.
Also, if
Oh, nice ult.
you're looking for a stall hero,
All right, Alright,
I mean,
no more ultimates. No more ultimates.
I feel like Reaper would be great here. Not for you, but just maybe a suggestion to your DPS.
Yes! Nice job, Davey!
I personally try to charge that, but it's also fine to just run away like you did. But don't go here. Go behind the payload, because the payload will block this as well, and that way you're actually contesting instead of leaving yourself open to flank here or behind you down here. And you could have blocked that.
My bad,
I've got an ult I can bring in.
Again, you should have swung away. I don't know if you would have killed anyone, but you would have done probably 2 swings in there. If it's like all, I don't know what like bullet damage, sure, but a Rein swinging on you, you're not gonna stay up from healing at all.
We get a little more time.
I think this is as far as I watched, so I don't know what goes on.
Hey, Farah.
Yeah, what's up?
You sure about that?
I don't know. Do you think? Oh, I'll win.
Well,
Oh yeah. I thought we're on offense.
on offense, by the way, I would definitely support it.
Yeah, no, I thought we were.
Also,
Okay, so now
I'd
that
say
we have
just
the
as a
Junkrat,
personal
I'm
kind of
gonna
like
top right.
suggestion thing, I would like if you have a problem with someone's pick, don't just say like, "Are you sure about that, buddy?" Like, just I don't know, try to word it more nicely. Is would you be able to play Junkrat again or whatever? Would you be? I don't know. I just feel like I'd feel kind of attacked if I was playing DPS.
Same story as last time.
So this time, Davey, if they come charging straight, if they come charging straight into point, don't fight on point right away.
Should we stop them before they get 1 tick or after?
No, don't worry. No. We're trying to
We got
stop them at 90. We're trying to stop them at 99%. We want them to not cap the point. Don't run in until it gets to past 2 ticks.
And personally, I don't really agree with that strategy. Like,
Blanche,
prevent them from getting 1 tick is my idea, my thoughts.
McCree. Y'all have a tracer
Tracer
behind.
behind you.
Thank you. Need heals over here. Need heals. Thank you.
Don't worry about the tracer.
Nice finish, Junkrat.
I know it's difficult as a Rein, that's probably the main target,
No,
but
don't come over here. I'm dropping shield for a second, Junkie. Dropping shield. Davey, can you DM?
Do it. Yes.
see they've given up on the.
They're on point. Don't go in yet.
You should.
Mercy, down. Zarya, 1.
Be careful, Mercy. Mercy, careful though. Don't
Yeah.
fly through there.
I didn't mean.
Free mid. Got him. Zarya, 1. Got him.
Already done.
We're in mid.
You should preemptively kind of predict where they're gonna.
Oh, whoa, Mercy.
Don't go too far, man.
Oh, there.
Come back.
I'd run for a 250 health pack. There's either down over there, just so the healing. No one pursues you, which is probably for the better, but
Going mid. They're coming mid.
All right. Don't jump down on top of him necessarily. All right, Zarya's top right. Don't worry about Zarya yet though. Dropping shield for a second. Play it. Moira, be careful now.
also your dropping shield callouts I feel are sometimes unnecessary. Like if your team is actually using it and you're taking shots, then say it. But like both those 2 times up here, I mean, you didn't really. No one was there shooting you, so it's fine to just drop it. Instead, you waste kind of like a second affirming to your entire team that you are dropping the shield, because What do I want to say? I don't know, just waste time until you can regen your shield.
They're not down.
And again, like, when they are going mid, you should be down mid as well. Instead, you're staying here and, like, ready to get the pounce on them, but you're doing nothing until that time, or at least on the main, you're a distraction, blocking fire, right?
Alright, here they go.
Because you want to be in a position where you're blocking, like, the highest percentage of the fire from your team. So if you're here, like, in this hallway, you're blocking, like, almost the full 100%, so there's only, like, this top angle you're not protecting, and maybe over here. Where up here, you're blocking, like, 5%. You're leaving this entire part open, and this entire part open over here.
They come. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. Alright,
Like-
now we gotta jump in.
Hitting this.
Right as I went around a corner.
Let's make
And-
sure we win the team fight.
I mean, I don't know what you do here. I haven't played or watched this yet. But given that it's almost over, you can, one, play as, like, an actual tank, as you should. Or because this is such a big ult, you might try to sneak somewhere, like, over on here, near the edge. Or, like, to the left. And just get a shatter and hopefully get their whole team bypassing the Rein shield because you're behind them. Not necessarily the good idea, but it's the second way you can play this.
Don't get in a panic right now. We have Shatter. Be ready to follow Shatter.
Instead, I mean, you should be setting up on this bus. If you don't do this,
Let's get him to overtime, and then we're gonna fight him. We're gonna knock him off. Sombra circling right. Sombra circling right.
so I don't know. It's hard to say. It wouldn't have worked because that Sombra might have seen you, right? But you have to assume he has shatter too there, Ryan. And Sombra's gonna hack you. He's gonna shatter, and it's not gonna be good.
Dropping shield for a second.
And one thing I personally do when I'm dropping my shield, I just hold swing because, I mean, you got it for infinite amount of time, right? And you might be doing damage if someone just happens to be there. Because, you know, you're such a big sweeping range, anything in your view within that, like, 5-meter radius is getting smacked. So, just something to think about.
What's our current strategy on ult?
Follow Shatter. Follow Shatter when you can. Yeah, you, but yes, using.
So, yeah, okay, you did it. But as soon as you hear that shatter noise, it's like, hey, okay, it's fucking time to go in.
Follow Shatter.
Right at them. And I'm dead.
And you
Sombra
should
got
have charged the Rhine. Like, shatter, fire strike as many people as you can, and then charge someone just before they get up.
What?
You wouldn't have killed the Rhine, but like from where you were, you probably would have charged him in here. He wouldn't have been able to shatter. But this is all
We got a Hanzo
talking
now.
about after the fact.
that turned around.
I can get him maybe in a good ult.
Not yet, not yet,
Not yet. Not
Yeah,
yet.
no, I might.
So again, try to get blocking that tunnel. This is like what I talked about defending the main point. This is blocking like their entire shooting range. Whereas over here, you allow them to just run around you. And you're, well, you're still blocking a lot, but it just allows flanks. Looks like you're going, no? So like, I don't know, just think about what you're doing in these positions.
Let's do it.
You should say you're hacked.
Got nobody. That's good. All right, and we're ready to go.
I think that was your diva bomb, but if that happens, I might not have done it. It's a little risky.
Let's do it.
No, okay, no
Nobody.
more of this
That's good.
jumping.
All right, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, it is. So I would try to charge Zarya at least into that bomb. I would have gone for Rein, but I think it's too hard to actually get him. So charge her in. And that Diva Bomb would have killed someone. And I would have just smacked that Sombra Translocator. I don't know if you noticed it, but just gets rid of her escape plan. She died anyways.
Nice. Good job.
And you guys held anyways.
Alright, we got this.
Unrelated to that death, I wouldn't be too hard on the Blanche. Like, it seemed like she was looking to fill and just pick Soldier because healers were taken or whatever, she's comfortable.
Hanging back to taxing mercy. I'm hanging back to taxing mercy.
Yep, we gotta wait. Come here, Buckaroo.
I wouldn't go in there with the death rat.
I agree with
Junkrat's
the
not in there.
avoiding the Junkrat, it's just a death trap.
Do it. We're here.
Okay, we ready? No Pharah, no Lucio. Shall we go around?
Yeah, go around. Hang on.
Alright,
There's a Sombra on
DPS
me.
are down.
we're down two. Andy, with Sombra McCree, can we switch off Pharah? I know we're on offense, but I feel like it's gonna be bad news.
Alright, let's go top.
Alright, top, we got the Junkrat now. Match up with their Junkrat. Ryan's waiting for a charge.
Again, you're standing here, but that Junkrat's gonna destroy you guys. It's like, I generally don't even mess. I don't know, I've tried, but give up after the one time like you guys did, because Junkrat's very hard to deal with in this specific hole. And if you are, do not stand here. Like, you gotta push and cut off the areas that Junkrat can just shoot down.
Alright, we're gonna have to wait till we have Junkrat up here. Let's back up a little bit, Alright, I'm gonna try to
Fire strike, yeah.
sit down, bitch.
Sombra behind.
You guys have to deal with it, I can't turn around.
No problem.
Move forward. Go, go, go. Watch out for the trap, but go.
Their shield's about to break, Move. Let's go, move. Gotta get up
Swing,
here,
swing, swing. Watch out for trap. Nice. Your shield is so low, like any damage you're just gonna break anyway, so just swing. Do not worry about the flanker, just call it out and keep pushing. Like, here is you at your least effective.
I got that.
But this is good, just go into the point.
How we doing in there? Sombra on point?
Junk low.
Get behind shield.
Oh, I almost.
It's still fine.
Caught most of it.
Alright,
3 down. We got bad spawn.
good.
Alright, 2.5 minutes. We're in good shape.
Again, you should try to push up to like the left of the bus. Maybe one of your DPS can go with you.
Okay, now let's not make this next fight an old Fiesta. So we're gonna have. Well, let's use Rip Tire before Tac Visor. Let's plan not to use Tac Visor. We can use. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Follow up. No more ultimates. No more
Sombra got
ultimates.
me up top.
No more ultimates. We
Keep
have-
pushing
we
the
have another-
payload.
People on the payload.
Yeah. Because this is pretty much no chance they can get back. As long as you have 3, you'll definitely cap.
I'm pushing up. I'm still pushing up. We need one healer up here. There we go.
Curious if you guys make it. Drop your shield, by the way. Just let it charge up.
Here comes Rein.
He has shatter for sure. Call that up. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's also unfortunate if you had your ult, you would have been able to shatter like all of them. But again, if you guys had just had 3, you would have made it before that.
We still got 3. Shatter him, okay?
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me get in position. Sombra's trying to hack. Sombra's trying to hack. Sombra's behind. DPS, we need you guys back here. We need you peeling Sombra.
She moved.
Alright. Okay, Davey, let's try this again. They're Rein didn't get turns.
Right back.
I don't. Your Rein, the Rein's already got another shatter, but you really need to focus on what's in front of you, not what's behind you, because generally you'll have 4 or 5 teammates to deal with behind you. A lot of times you just look the other way, and I feel like you get. Oh, that's unfortunate. You get confused and.
Alright, everybody else stay. Everybody else stay. I'm gonna
10 seconds. 10 seconds. If we get moved, we gotta get to it fast. 5 seconds.
I'm going. Alright, everybody go.
Krieg on me.
Don't worry about the flankers, worry about the tank.
Alright, good job everybody. That was a good game.
They turned it around real well.
That was ridiculous. But you see the aggression, he's just swinging. So basically I would say, I don't know, first learn the shield hopping thing. It's pretty simple. It's a popular technique, but I kind of just figured it out on my own even, so it's not like you need to learn these crazy tech. So that's important. And it helps you get on the front line to actually be defending your team instead of just walking up. Fire strike more often. Look for long routes where you can hit all the enemy that's kind of funneled. There's tons of places on every map. What was the other thing? Kind of look at who your healers are. You have a lot of healing that round, and you weren't really being aggressive with it. And I don't know if it's the best, but try to think of yourself as a distraction, something that draws the aggression and stays up because you have so much HP and you have a big shield to defend yourself after you get low, instead of just thinking yourself as just a wall that your team can use to shoot behind. I think the social aspect of your game is fine. There's just a bit more. As you play, you'll figure out how to deal with or get higher levels, and you'll just see other people coordinating this way and you'll adapt their strategy, kind of thing. But yeah, hopefully this helps. It's my first time trying to do a video like this.